My god, it is so hot right now, so hopefully this review is going to be short because I cannot stand to do anything while it's this hot right now. Hi everyone, it's Charles, and I'm going to be talking about A Quiet Place 2 today, and I just gotta say, it has been a long time coming for this movie to finally come out. Seriously, A Quiet Place 2 was supposed to come out the week, everything shut down, and I was just like, oh, this is horrible, this whole pandemic, but at the same time, I was like, but A Quiet Place 2 was just right there. It could have just, come out and then maybe it would have gone to DVD faster. But you know what? They were like, no, we're going to hold it for an indefinite amount of time. And my mind was just like, we're never going to get this. But you know what? At least it's finally here. If you don't know what A Quiet Place 2 is about, A Quiet Place 2 is the continuation of A Quiet Place, which came out in 2018. Both movies were directed by John Krasinski, and the second movie he wrote by himself, so he really has a lot to do with this movie. And I mean, he stars in the movie for like a few minutes, but he's really only in the first, I would say 10 minutes-ish of the movie. The rest of the movie, it stars Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, Noah Jupe, Cillian Murphy, and Damonj Hansu. I think that's everyone who's in this movie. As I said, this movie picks up from what happens in the last movie. Basically, the family had defeated the monsters that were attacking them, and now they're just like, look, I guess we have to leave this farm and find some help because, John Krasinski, the dad, is dead, and they need to find some help because they can't do this on their own. What I liked about this movie the most was the direction, because I think that John Krasinski directed the fuck out of this movie. Just watching this movie, my mom was like, he saw what made the first movie really great, and then, built upon that to give, even better elements in this movie. Seriously, the tension in this movie, I was like, ooh, I'm feeling very tense right now with all the things that are happening. And for the most part, this movie keeps the tension really high. There were only a few moments in the movie that I was like, okay, we're at ease. But for the most part, this movie keeps you at the edge of your seat. The other thing I really liked about this movie were the performances, because like the first movie, the performances in this movie are amazing. Emily Blunt, great performance, not as strong as her performance in the first movie, but her performance is still great. But overall, I think that Millicent Simmons gives the best performance in this movie. I mean, she was great in the first movie, but she really gets the time to shine in this one. I would say that she is the main character in this movie, and she really shows everyone that she can really act her ass off. Honestly, when looking at all the male characters in this movie, I personally believe that they were all gypped, because when it comes to Noah Jupe, Cillian Murphy, and Damonj Hansu, I felt like all their characters were very underwritten. I just didn't feel like any of them had a lot to do in this movie. I mean, especially Noah Jupe and Damonj Hansu. I felt like both of them were really sidelined. I mean, Noah Jupe is one of the main characters of the movie, and yet I felt like he was just really underused, and every time he was on screen, it was not really much he could do. For me, the only time Noah Jupe gets to shine in this movie is a moment in the very start of the movie, and also a moment in the very last scene in the movie, so he doesn't really get that much time to shine because his character really isn't given that much to do. Same with Damonj Hansu, he's only in the last third of the movie, and he gets done really dirty. He gets done really dirty, you guys. When it comes to Cillian Murphy, he is always a non-entity for me. I have not seen him in anything that makes me go, wow, he is an actor. He is a great actor, not a great leading actor, not a great character actor. I'm just like, maybe I should watch Peaky Blinders because people say he's great in that, but I've seen a lot of, performances from Cillian at this point, and I just don't feel him at all as an actor. Honestly, the weakest part of this movie was the story, because at a certain part in the movie, it decides to split the characters up, and my mind's like, no, don't do that. And they split the characters up into, Millicent Simmons and Cillian Murphy together, then Noah Jupe and Emily Blunt together. But even the Noah Jupe and Emily Blunt group, they split that up too, and my mind's like, I just don't think this really works that well, because the movie's becoming too unfocused as we're having to follow different storylines. Also, I gotta say that a lot of the characters in this movie were making a lot of stupid decisions. I mean, I know in horror movies and thrillers, the characters have to be making bad decisions for something to happen, but I felt like a lot of the decisions that were happening in this movie that were bad were really made just for the script's sake, because I felt like the characters, after watching the first movie, I felt like they were a little smarter than what they were doing in this movie. I was just like, you guys are really doing this? Really? I mean, okay. I really did enjoy watching this movie in the theaters, and I really enjoyed the movie overall, but I don't know. I watched A Quiet Place before watching A Quiet Place 2, and I don't know, just in comparison, this movie just does not hold a candle or a light or whatever the phrase is to the first movie. That's usually how it is with sequels, but I don't know, A Quiet Place 1 really hit the spot. But this movie, while it's well directed and has great performances, the story just doesn't work as strongly for me. I gotta finish this review already because it's so hot and I don't want to sit here anymore. But yeah, good for A Quiet Place 2 for making a lot of money so far at the box office during this pandemic. I mean, I feel like a lot of people keep forgetting that we are in a pandemic, but this movie made almost the exact same amount of money the first movie made in its first 3 days, so that's very impressive, especially during this pandemic. Tell me down below in the comments what you guys thought about this movie. Did you like it a lot? Did you like it as much as the first movie? Or did you not like it as much as the first movie like me? Just tell me you guys' thoughts in the comments below because I would like to hear people's thoughts about this movie. Thank you guys for coming to my channel and watching this whole movie review. And yeah, I'll see you guys around in the next video if you're here for that. So until then, I'm gonna go now. So yes, bye.